Got some drains. Keep it dry. Yeah. It's, so yeah, that's the general park right here. Okay. So this is a little too close to the garbage can, I think. Maybe the garbage can won't always be there. Oh, actually, it looks like the garbage can isn't going anywhere. I could cut off the video right there, but look, I'll just keep going a little bit. So we got the baseball fields. We got that area like just beyond the baseball field. So also like the sun is setting in the west. So if this is west, then this is east over here. And if that's east, when you know west and east, then you know that north is in front of you. If you put your hand out to the west with your left hand, and your hand out to the east with your right hand, then actually that wouldn't help at all. How will you know? How do you describe that? Well, when you're facing, if you know where east is, no, if you know where west is, sun setting in the west. If you know where the west is, and you're looking at it, and you turn to the right, you go from the west to the right, then that's north. Then opposite of west is east, and that means the other direction is south. South, north, east, west, just for orientation sake. Here is another building that seems to be of various use, and we also have the the parking lot, where it seems like there's definitely ample parking today. I saw something about no event parking, I think over by the skate shop, so I don't know what that entails. This spot is a spot, I guess. Could be a spot. If you park, you're like, okay, let's go to the skate park. You park, and you're like, I can't wait to juggle. So you just get out and start juggling right there. So lots of parking today. Maybe if there's an event or something. Maybe if like maybe if there's a ball game, might fill up the parking lot. But that's basically it. It's interesting that this is the second park that we've seen that has a keep out gate. Like it's a very it doesn't turn around, but it looks like something that's kind of in a subway. So it's you can't get it. There's only one way in and out, and it's it has like a design that like only allows for even like one person to get in and out like at a time. It's so the only other one we saw that at was in Northbrook, Illinois. That was also completely surrounded by a fence, as this one was, and it had and it was all concrete. This one just seems, I'm guessing, from what I remember, this is larger. I think they had, maybe some more rules over there. It was their rules were a bit more. I guess this is another way you can go to the park. You could bike on over using this, or walk using this bridge over the river. So now we're actually kind of walking away from the skate park. Well, we know that. We're walking away from the skate shop. And this actually takes us... So this is... They have this kind of wall. Oh, you know what? That is actually... This right here. Might as well. Hopefully got a couple minutes left on this. This is the fort, or a recreation of the fort, like the original Fort Wayne. That's the name of the town, Fort Wayne. Also in the background you could see that tall building that says Indiana, Michigan Power. So that's like the electric company, the utility company. And next to that is another building. It has a American flag on top. Don't know what that one is at this time. But yeah, those are those two buildings. And here's getting closer to the fort, the reconstructed fort. I was gonna say that this sidewalk kind of, you know, they kind of have it like fenced off, walled off by these concrete walls. So it's really like a dedicated like kind of park space. I was talking earlier about those parks that they have here. It's like they're very park conscious. They are aware of their parks, and they develop their parks, and you use the parks. So this is, yeah, I didn't expect this at all. I did not think that I was going to go over here, but I recognized it from that one vantage point over there, and this is it. This is the reconstruction, the fort area. I don't know much about it actually, but this is the original, a reconstruction of what the original fort would have looked like. It recalls the when I was earlier, about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago, I was in Fort Madison on the Mississippi River in Iowa. So Fort Madison is right there. Like, I don't know if you know too much about Iowa, but Iowa kind of has a shape that's like I guess like a rectangle, and there's like one part at the southeast corner, and that is Lee County, and Lee County has Fort Madison. But Fort Madison, their fort, is, I think, in more disrepair, and I heard that they were working on it, and then it's gone back and forth. It's like how far it's actually been reconstructed. This here looks like they have more fort to see. The one in Fort Madison was it was not, I think, was not at this level. They've done a little bit more here, and I think in both of these cases, I think this one may actually already be functioning as a visitor center or a learning lab, you know, a place to visit and find out about what happened here, what life was like for the soldiers and the other groups of people who would have been here. So this is, obviously it's not open right now. Otherwise, maybe someone would be able to explain more. Maybe someone could tell us more. But even in Fort Madison, I don't think they had a sign like this. And then there's these other structures. This looks newer. All right, well, now we have some actual something to look at. Reconstruction of these are Whistler's Fort timeline, and the reconstruction of Whistler's Fort, as well as a timeline. So these are some other structures that seem to be part of this as well. Well, I'm not going to read every word, but I will give just a little. I'll see what I can do. So it says, I guess I'll start here, Whistler's Fort. This is the last American fort to exist at the confluence of St. Mary's, St. Joseph, and the Maumee rivers. So that's St. Joseph, St. Mary's, and the Maumee. And here we are, I think. Well, here's the old fort. I'm trying to think trying to see where that skate park would be, but it's not. Jumping out like where that would be. It's somewhere around there. So that's where the fort was. It was built between 1815 and 1816 by Major John Whistler. Hunt's Fort had withstood a Native American siege in September 1812, but by 1815 was badly decayed. They had a new fort in the fall of 1815. Having earlier built Fort Dearborn, that's another one. So we've got Whistler's Fort, there's Fort Madison, and then there's Fort Dearborn. Fort Dearborn is in downtown Chicago. Fort Dearborn is next to where Jean-Baptiste du Sable lived, who is credited with sort of founding the city of Chicago. As being the first person, non-native ancestry who lived there, and the Fort Dearborn was built right near there. It says having earlier built Fort Dearborn at the present-day site of Chicago in 1803. Whistler used many of the fort's features in the new fort's design. These included shed roofs that sloped inward to prevent fires from flaming arrows. Those are the roofs that they slope inward toward inside the fort. And military post until 1819. Indian agency, so that's agency. Indian agents were like communicating between the Indian nations, the native nations, and the United States government till 1828. And the path to the Wabash and Erie Canal necessitated the dismantling of several of the fort buildings in the 1830s. Really, the Erie Canal had something to do with this. The fort's last building was demolished in 1852. So here's the timeline. 1722. First French fort built at the confluence of these rivers. The second French fort. The French fort is then ceded to the British in 1760. The British fort falls to the American Confederation. A confederation of the Americans and the natives. In 1763. 1794, Wayne builds the first American fort. Then Colonel Thomas Hunt builds the second fort. The siege of Fort Wayne, so there was a siege. Oh, I'm not sure. This British fort falls to a native American Confederation. That may mean a confederation of Native Americans. Wayne Fort, so Fort Wayne. So General Anthony Wayne builds